Hello guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. Are you ready to talk about vlogging? Because I am so freaking ready for this. If you guys have been following my channel for a little while, a little less than a year ago, I uploaded a video talking about how to vlog and just some vlogging tips for beginners. And before I decided to outline this video, I watched that video and it's so good. I shared so much information in there and I really wanted to use this video as a way to share more advanced tips that I didn't share in that video, as well as things that I have learned since now I have a vlog channel. At the time, I was just vlogging on my main channel and I was filming like one vlog a week, but I feel like I didn't have that much experience to really give you guys the best advice. So now that I've been vlogging 4 months and I did Vlogmas where I vlogged every single day for 25 days, I figured I've got some new tips to give you guys, some things that I've learned that have just taken my vlogs up a notch. We've got a dog coming in. Hi, do you have any vlogging tips that you would like to share? Okay, let's get into it. We live in a world where short form content is absolutely killing it right now, and to keep people's attention, it's kind of hard. It's highly likely that people are going to click off your video, especially if it's boring. And if you want to have a good audience retention rate, then you need to think about the structure and the flow of your video. So one of the most basic structures that you can fall back on at any time, and something that I really like to do within my videos, is to have a scene where I'm talking just like this. Typically, I'm more so actually holding my camera and talking to it, and then flip to a B-roll scene with music, then back to talking, then back to B-roll. This helps to give your audience a break when it comes to watching your video. It keeps them interested. Instead of having a whole video that's you talking or having a whole video that's just B-roll, it keeps their attention, but also it helps to tell a story. Vlogs are all about the stories, and one of the things I like to remind myself is that it's not about the finished product, it's more so about the journey. So let me give you an example. During Vlogmas, I did a ton of house projects, and one of the things I did is I hung curtains in my master bedroom as well as in my office here. And when I was hanging them in my office, yeah, I could have included just some cute B-roll of me doing just like a little time lapse of drilling into the wall, putting up my curtain rod, putting on the curtains, all of that stuff. But you have to remember, that's boring, okay? You gotta keep people interested. Instead of just making it seem like, oh, this was perfect and so easy, guys, I cut my finger twice. Handy woman Cathrin slit her finger. I got my drill bit stuck in the wall. It was going pretty well until I got my drill bit stuck in the wall. And I was seriously struggling to get this curtain rod up there, but I got it done, and I filmed the whole entire process because it is more about the journey than it is the finished product. And with that brings me to my next tip, which is to overfilm. Film literally everything. If you are doing, let's say, meal prep, guys, where you're prepping all your meals or all of your lunches or whatever, don't just show you cooking. Show you creating your grocery list, show you going to the grocery store, and then show you cutting, chopping, cooking, doing all of it. Make sure you over film as much as possible and you film every step of the process, because what you can do while you're editing is cut things out. It's not like you film 2 hours worth of content and you're going to create a 2-hour long vlog. No, most of my vlogs that I film are typically around an hour and a half worth of footage. Now that does include time lapses. So let's say I've got a 30-minute time lapse that I filmed. That's actually going to be cut down into 30 seconds. If you overfilm, guys, cut out whatever's boring, but it gives you more of an opportunity to form the vlog into a good and interesting vlog compared to not having enough footage, and then you've got 4 minutes worth of good content, and that is way too short of a vlog. So while we're on the topic of filming, let's talk about some filming tricks, some things that I take into consideration, because vlogs are not the same as these videos. In my opinion, they're difficult in their individual, unique way, and you can make a vlog as challenging as you want to make it, and you can make a sit-down video as challenging as you want to make it. It's really up to you. But with vlogs, let's just first start with your camera gear, equipment, all of that stuff. So I recently got this camera, which is a Canon M5. This body style is going goodbye. That's why I ended up getting it, because it was really cheap on Black Friday, and I was like, heck yeah, then I got a second camera for vlogging. But camera I would really recommend to you guys is the Canon EOS M50. That's what I'm currently filming on. It's a great beginner camera. It doesn't cost that much. Yes, it's still like $650, but it's cheaper than some other options out there, and it's got a flip out screen. Over here, you can interchange the lenses, and you can also put a mic on top. So my next tip for you guys is to get a wide angle lens. This is the Canon 11-22, and this is a really, really great lens. I thoroughly enjoy it. So let me actually turn this on really quick, and then I'll just show you guys exactly how wide this is. Like if I hold these two side by side, this one is significantly wider, and I do need to fix the exposure on it because the exposure on this one is so dark compared to this one. Having a wide angle lens helps to get better shots, as well as you can have the camera closer to you and it doesn't cut out as much compared to if I was holding this camera. This is a little too up close and personal in my opinion. So if you're in a tricky spot and you don't know where to set your camera, you can actually set it a little bit closer to you instead of having to get a tripod and set it up farther away. Like if you are doing that kitchen prep and you only have so much room on your counter, having a wide angle lens and your camera on your counter is probably fine. And then another thing in terms of your gear is not a necessity, but I do think it is a nice and one of the cheaper investments that you can make for your YouTube channel is to get a microphone on top. Now I know that there's a lot of vlogging cameras where the flip out screen flips up, and if you do have a camera like that, then you can't have a mic like this, but there are some mics that just like stick out on the side, so you guys may want to look into those options. But this is the Rode Video Micro. It's not that expensive. I think it's like 60 bucks, 70 bucks maybe. It's easy throw on. You don't even need to think about it. Like it doesn't require batteries, anything like that. The one thing I will say is if you are traveling a lot or if you're throwing around your camera a lot, two problems I realized I ran into when I was doing my trip to LA. I was having microphone problems because I had my camera on a car mount. I'm holding it upside down because that's how my car mount works. And it was bouncing a lot. And here in the back, guys, this thing, if I actually, let me take this out. This can unscrew back here, and if you are noticing that you have sound problems, that may be unscrewed, or if you take this dead cat off in there, that can also unscrew as well. So just pay attention to make sure that everything is fully screwed in, that your cord also is plugged in fully in the back of your microphone and then also on the side. But that's just a bonus little tip. You don't need a microphone. You don't even need a fancy camera. If you want to get started on your phone, that's fine, but I would recommend the Canon M50. Some of the other things when it comes to your camera, your settings, okay? I personally like to use auto exposure when I am vlogging with a little keynote here, okay? If you use auto exposure, we're gonna jump to my vlog camera and I'm gonna show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so this is me. We are in my office right now. Do you guys see how dark my kitchen is? I'm just gonna run over here. Auto exposure, it caught up to me. Do you see what happened there? So if you do not have auto exposure on, actually let me change it and then you guys can see. So this is currently manual exposure. I think that's like about the lighting that I would do in here. But then if I went to walk into my office, it's obviously gonna go up and I'm gonna have to stop, drop my exposure down, way down, way down, way down, way down, until it looks good, and then I can continue vlogging again, which is not bad if you are more so, I'm gonna say an advanced vlogger, a professional vlogger, because when you are changing rooms or changing scenes, then you can stop, fix your settings, and then keep going. But if you are more so, I just wanna be in the moment, I want my camera to do it for me, auto exposure is going to be your best friend, okay? So how the heck do you set up auto exposure? Great question. This is currently my Canon M50, and if you click this info, guys, you're going to get more features on your screen. So I like to click my info until I get this. Now, it's currently set up on manual exposure, but if I click that icon right up top, I can click here, auto exposure, okay, and we are good to go. It's on auto exposure. If you want to switch it back, click the little icon, manual, okay, and you are good to go. But even with auto exposure, an extra tip for you guys, when you are switching rooms like that, wait for your camera to catch up before you continue talking. Yes, you can talk the whole way through the scene and it's going to be fine. It's not a big deal, but if you want your vlog to flow a little bit nicer, wait for the lighting to catch up and then keep going. Along with that is your color settings, your picture settings on your camera. Now, with this camera right now, when I'm filming a sit-down video, I have it set on a custom color setting and I will adjust it based off of where I am filming in my office. If you are vlogging and you're in the moment and you do not want to worry about the coloring going from really blue to really yellow, set it to auto and make your life easier, but let me show you again what it would look like if it wasn't set to auto. So this is currently set on auto exposure, but not auto coloring correction type of thing. So I'm going to go like I would be going to my garage to get in my car. And as you guys can see, this is so incredibly yellow. So what I would do, I'm gonna stop my camera right now, and then I would switch it to the coloring that looks good with this lighting, and then I would keep going on with my scene. So I've got my camera on auto white balance, which is again, the coloring that we are talking about. If I go from that lighting, now it's gonna be blue for a little, so give it a second. And then this is what it gets to. Now, I'm not gonna lie, my camera took ridiculously long for the coloring to switch over here, but this is on auto white balance. So it works with your other lights that you have in your house, and it may not be perfect, but it's a little bit easier if you don't wanna just keep messing with all the settings on your camera. Same thing when it comes to white balance. How the heck do you change it? So on the Canon M50, if you click on menu, we are currently on the camera tab. If I scroll over to 3, white balance is right there, and I can toggle between whatever ones I want. Now, what I have set up, and I don't remember if this is within the settings on the camera already, or if you have to set this up because I did customize some of these, but if I just click on the flash icon right here, then I can switch between whatever one I want, which actually makes it really easy access. So if you want to not use auto white balance and you want to customize it based off of your scene, definitely have this set up. Check if it's already set up. I don't remember, guys. All of that auto stuff is great when you're running around doing everything that you're doing. But what I will say, if you guys want to do a time lapse, this is a mistake that I made so many times when I was getting started. I had my camera set on auto exposure and I would do a time lapse, and then not because of the clouds in the sky, just because my camera was trying to figure out its life, my lighting would go really, really bright and then really, really dark, really, really bright, really, really dark. And then I couldn't do it in time-lapse format because it was just like this strobing effect when I made it fast. And it was an absolute disaster. So set your camera into manual exposure when you are doing a time lapse, especially if you do not have a cloudy day. It's going to make your life a heck of a lot easier. And then also if you set it to custom white balance for your coloring, guys, that's going to help you so it's not gonna go from cool tone to warm tone to cool tone to warm tone. You know, it's just gonna be flat, and it's going to make your time lapses look a heck of a lot better. Okay, enough running around my house testing out different settings and stuff. Let's talk about the content and what you are actually going to film. So my very first tip for you guys is to stop telling your audience what you're going to do and just start doing it. And this is something I'll fully admit that I still struggle with to this day. And the most cut out scene that I delete from my vlog footage is when I say, okay, now I'm gonna run to the grocery store. Okay, now I'm going to do this. It's like, Cathrin, no one needs that. If I'm going to be showing my audience that I'm doing my laundry, I do not need to tell my audience before I start doing my laundry that I'm about to do my laundry, you know? So show people what you're doing, and then that leads to a better transition as well. And if you're struggling with the general flow of your video, I want you guys to keep top of mind the last thing that you filmed. And even if you don't remember, go back to your camera, take a look at the last thing that you filmed, and then figure out what the transition's going to be. Now, it doesn't have to be like a beautiful TikTok transition, anything crazy happening here. I'm just talking about going from what's the last thing you filmed, a B-roll scene? Does it make sense to have a talking scene? Does it make more sense to go from that B-roll scene to a different B-roll scene? Like, how can you make it flow all together? And while we're just talking about this, you guys know I love the word but, so, like, now. Yeah, I love those as transitions, but another thing that I cut out of my vlog so much is when I say now or so, I cut it out a lot. You don't really need those transitions, especially if you just had a B-roll scene and now you're going to talking. You can just go right into what you're saying. You don't need to say, okay, I just finished, I drove home, now I'm home. It's like, if you're already home, you don't need to tell your audience that you're home. And another trick with that when it comes to your sentences, and I know this sounds kind of weird. You remember how I was saying, even if you have auto exposure on or if you don't have auto exposure on, when you get into a new room and the lighting's changing, wait for it to change before you keep talking. One of the things that I really like to do is I'll start a sentence somewhere and then I'll end up finishing that sentence somewhere else, okay? And it doesn't have to be anything really complicated. Like, I didn't appear in another room magically, but it actually fit with the flow of the video. So whether that is your camera's on a tripod and then you move to handheld, or let's say that you are walking into a new room and the lighting isn't great, remember the last thing that you said and the next thing that you want to say to keep the sentence flowing. It adds more interest in your video and you'll also just look like a professional vlogger. Do Do you guys see how incredibly dark it is getting in my office? I've just got a few more tips to give you, and the sun is playing with me here. But the next one, vlogs are not meant to be perfect. Okay, vlogs are a great way to connect with your audience. They're a great way for you to appear as a real human being. Share your mistakes. Don't keep filming the same scene over and over and over again until you get it right. If you mess something up with your words, keep rolling. Like, acknowledge it, fix it, and keep rolling. You don't need to keep refilming the same thing over and over again to make the vlog good. Actually, people are going to more so connect with you when your vlog isn't perfect. But along with that, guys, vlogging is going to seem really, really awkward when you're first getting started. It just is. I don't think it's natural to hold up a camera and talk to it. Like, I have been doing this for 4 years at this point, and it's become a bit more natural to me. But even when I don't vlog for a week and then I go back to vlogging, I will notice that I'm more caught up and I trip myself up in terms of what I'm saying and how I want to say it, and I get camera shy. I 100% do. So if you are brand new to vlogging and you're like, I just feel so awkward, I feel uncomfortable, the more you film, the better you're going to get. And that's just a good tip when it comes to getting comfortable in front of your camera. Film videos that you never plan on even editing, videos that you never plan on uploading. Just keep filming. And the more you film, the better you're going to get. I will say, during Vlogmas, I was the most comfortable I ever was with my camera because every single day I was picking it up and I was talking to it. Compared to now, I film 2 times a week. And even then, some days I feel a little bit weird. So if you notice that you feel weird, push through it, keep filming, and possibly just film more videos that you never even plan on editing. But that is going to be it for this video. It is seriously getting dark in here. So I gotta go. I hope you guys got something from this video. You took some tips out of it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel down below, and I'll see you guys back here on Tuesday with another one.